Next, a moment to remember a friend and his legacy.
A year can be a flash, and beyond the calendar, our hearts call us to reflect that our newsroom, our studios, our lives are all a little quieter, missing the joyous sound of John Saunders' hearty laugh and his powerful presence. John left us suddenly, and as the shock and grief have subsided, they're replaced by a new emotion, gratitude. Just before John passed away, he'd finished writing a book, Playing Hurt. This describes his life story with searing, painful honesty. Few of us knew the full dimension of John's challenges, his lifelong battle with depression, numerous concussions, flirting more than once with suicide, an abusive childhood, a distant family life. I use the word gratitude for John offers a cautionary tale to those suffering from depression. Talk to those close to you, seek help, know that there is a way this disease can be treated.
Last week marked 1 year since our friend and colleague John Saunders passed away of natural causes, unexpectedly at the age of 61. Yes, he had just finished that manuscript for Playing Hurt, which he co-wrote with the New York Times best-selling author John Bacon, who joins me. John, it's always good to speak with you. You guys could have written a book that was not so would have been compelling. John's story with depression through his life. What were those conversations with John like? He said, "No, we're going to tell everything here."
I got to tell you, Bob, as you know from the book, and thanks for being an early reader of it and a close friend of John's, he came on day one with the whole package and just dumped his stories, not asking for sympathy or pity, I don't think, not melodramatic, but sparing nothing. And that included, of course, the long list of things that you described in your piece there. Physical abuse from his father, sexual abuse, self-medication, self-mutilation, concussions, and depression overarching the whole thing. And John was utterly upfront, spared himself nothing, and incredibly, Bob, despite all that, our conversations were often every 15 or 20 minutes punctuated by laughter. As you know, John found a way to laugh about almost everything.
The amazing thing, and we've all communed as friends in the last year, we didn't know John the way that this book reveals John, and he was so proud of this book near the end of his life. With depression, it's not a straight line. Witness the journey that John, talk about that, how it was a variety of physicians, a variety of medications, and it was sometimes steps backwards before he could move forward.
That's exactly right. First of all, as you know, we all know, I guess, depression is not a bad day. Of course, it's a disease, and trying to tell a guy to, buck up works no better than, trying to cure cancer with cold medicine. It does not work. John's path was a winding one, and he often got very good help, often some very bad help, frankly. The wrong medications, doctors who did not care. But he found great doctors the last 5 years of his life, including the folks at Columbia and Mount Sinai. And that made a world of difference to John, certainly a big part of his recovery. And I have to believe, and you're around him during these years, that his last 4 or 5 years were probably the happiest he ever had.
But looking back, that you certainly can piece that together. What were the conversations like with his wife, Wanda, his brother, Bernie, after John's passing here? You had a finished book, brutally honest. At what point did they have to be engaged in conversation? Do we publish this book like this?
Well, give them both credit, by the way, because we left it up to them. There is no way we're going to go forward with this book without Wanda's blessings, obviously. And she was true to John, to this day, obviously. His vision, his dream for what he wanted to do, which is mainly to help others. And he can't do that by playing public relations. She allowed him to be his true self. We could fix a few things through Bernie and Wanda that they knew more about than John did. And they were careful about a few other people outside the book, outside John's life. But I got to tell you that they were true to John all the way. And as painful as this was for them in many ways, they also learned a few things about John they didn't know. And I think we all feel good now that we've honored John's vision.
We talk to a lot of authors. We say, read this book. This is a powerful book. It's an important book. If you suffer from depression, and John, I know you'll agree with me here, John's message here, John Saunders' message, there is help, persevere, there is light at the end of the tunnel. John Bacon, my friend, thank you. God bless. Good to see you.
Thank you, Bob.